Hello, I'm going to talk about my music genre classification project for applied deep learning. I wanted to create a project that was able to classify which genre a song belongs to, and do that even for more closely related subgenres. For my data, I selected a handful of playlists, each one of them focusing on one specific genre, and then using a script, search for each song on YouTube and download it from YouTube. Then I would label each song by the playlist it originates from. In total I got 1280 songs split up into 8 different genres. For each song I then created a MEL spectrogram. That is a spectrogram that uses a log scale on the frequency domain, giving us a high resolution in the lower frequencies. This also closely resembles how we humans perceive those frequencies. Then I took 4-second crops of these spectrograms for my training. The neural network I used is based on the network from the paper I referenced. I just adapted it a bit. I added a few more layers. So in total I had now 8 convolutional layers and 2 dense layers. While the training uses these short 4-second windows, the inference uses the whole song. So I split up a song, an input song, into small windows and perform the inference using my trained model on each of these windows, and then get the average prediction to be my final result. This greatly increased the stability and the performance of my model. You can see that here in my test run, where the test accuracy is 82%, meaning that 82% of my songs in the test dataset were classified correctly. Also, the confusion matrix shows that all genres can be about equally good recognized, with having only a few small outliers, but that was expected. So overall I'm very happy with the results I achieved, and I can share a few insights. First, using a larger window, so like using 30 seconds of a song, resulted in much greater overfitting, and I could not get the model to perform as good, nearly as good as it did for my final result. Also, I experimented using deeper networks like the ResNet 18, which has a lot more parameters, and for me this just resulted in overfitting again. And maybe the solution would be to have a much bigger data set. And the thing I struggled the most with was getting good data, getting good genre labels. So for example, the Spotify API provides a genre for each song, but it's a bit too generic for the thing I wanted to do, and doesn't really differentiate between the subgenres often. And also I tried to use a database, a crowdsourced database, where the genres were much more accurate, but the data was like only a third of the songs had data, and I got an IP band anyway, so that too was a dead end. So I finally settled on just handpicking a few playlists, where each playlist is focusing on one specific subgenre, and then I get all those songs and label these songs by this genre. And this proved to be a very good technique, and I got the results I aimed for. And also a thing I struggled with at the beginning was that my training was really slow, and that was because I was just loading the MP3 files directly from my drive, and so I had to convert them to smaller WAV files and then load all of them into the RAM, and then the training sped up by orders of magnitude. And lastly, I built a simple demo application that is running using a Flask API and a simple website, and if anyone wants to try it out, you can simply spin up the Docker container and look at it. And yeah, that was my project, and feel free to ask me any question. Thank you.